went upstairs. And Puff said, "Yo, Gene, watch the door. Don't let nobody come through the door."
Everybody's writing about
When higher up and Puff say yen was the entryway, don't allow no one to get through the entryway, everyone's expounding on you. There's dependably reports about you too. How would you manage it? Everything you have something you need to say to us in the press, we don't mind, clutch your seats people in. Light of the fact that the universe of music tycoon Diddy is spiraling into a tumultuous tornado of embarrassment and legitimate dramatization, unstable allegations of attack by Rhodey B vocalist Cassie and different casualties have sent shockwaves through Hollywood, illustrating a turbulent relationship that is everything except charming, yet that is not all in a lawful adventure that unfurled like a blockbuster film. Jennifer Lopez chose to end her quiet, adding one more layer of disarray to the generally wild story. We have the restrictive inside scoop on how Diddy abused Jlo, uncovering a side of the VIP world that has been concealed for a really long time, the relationship like a meteorite streak. Ed across the sky of distinction, abandoning a path of famous minutes, discussions, and feelings of grief. The beginning of their liaison flourished in the last part of the 90s when Diddy, then at that point known as Puff Daddy, encountered Lopez on the arrangement of her Assuming You Had My Adoration music video. Flashes flew, and their science touched off a blasting relationship. The year 1999 denoted the beginning of their association, and the world looked as they marched their warmth across red floor coverings and stylish occasions. Puffy brushes and Jennifer Lopez, presumably perhaps of the most captivating couple in history anyway, as stunning as their public exterior appeared, opens started to arise. The scandalous 2000 Grammys displayed the couple in their style quality with Lopez's green Versace dress deified in design history, yet on a deeper level marvelousness pressures, agonized reports of strife surfaced, and murmurs of disloyalty waited, creating shaded areas over their apparently amazing Animent. Did's previous guardian Gan bargain as of late stripped back the facade of excitement, charging that treachery tormented their relationship. He guaranteed that during a Miami Typhoons game, followed by an evening gathering facilitated by Lopez, Diddy took part in cozy demonstrations with Karen Superhead Stefans. While Lopez was in a similar house, and keeping in mind that Jennifer was higher up, he was down there getting A from him. The stunning disclosure shook the public, leaving many pondering the profundity of Diddy's betrayal, and whether Lopez had been ignorant about the degree of selling out inside her own home. Definitely that is a wild story, man, so puffy, he was getting head from you. Realized Superhead and Jennifer Lopez was higher up, and she had no clue, none at all. The couple's thrill ride went on into the new 1,000 years, interspersed by here and there stages that obvious their unpredictable relationship. The year 2001 carried a sudden finish to their romantic tale as Valentine's Day saw the public declaration of their split. Lopez, later addressing Oprah Winfrey, alluded to the tragedy and double-crossing that prompted their division, communicating her acknowledgement that she couldn't have ever the day-to-day life she wanted with Diddy. I needed to think what I like to be home with kids in 10 years, pondering where someone is at 3-0 in the first part of the day. Lopez considered indicating the significant soul looking through that undeniable the finish of their high-profile undertaking in different meetings throughout the long term. Lopez got straight to the point, uncovering the turbulent idea of their relationship. She described snapshots of hopelessness and personal disturbance, recognizing her misery during her experience with Lopez genuinely uncovered. It was whenever I first was with somebody who wasn't reliable. I was thoroughly crying, insane, and going crazy. It truly took for what seems like forever. In a tail-turn report flowed of Lopez pursuing Diddy, thumping on lodging entryways looking for him, a clear depiction of her misery during their tempestuous sentiment. While she confessed to never getting him in the demonstration, the premonition of his faithlessness waited, covering their security with vulnerability. I never got him yet. I just realized. Lopez unveiled he'd say he was going to a club for several hours and afterward never returned that evening. As the years passed, retrospection shed light on the intricacy of their security. Diddy, thinking about his past loves, owned up to Oprah Winfrey that his waiting affection for Kim columnist prevented the movement of his relationship with Lopez. Yet you know Jennifer, she's certainly a terrible chick, yet I was still enamored with Kim. You understand what I'm talking about, so I was unable to wee Jennifer. I was still infatuated with Kim's stage. In the midst of the heart-trap doors and treacheries, Lopez found comfort in her ensuing connections including a concise union with Chris Judd anyway, reverberates of her wild past. With Diddy resonated in her appearance on Connections, highlighting the scars left by their turbulent undertaking, yet the connection among Lopez and Diddy was associated with unfaithfulness as well as with additional conspicuous embarrassments in the midst of the glamour and fabulousness of Hollywood elegant undertakings. A pivotal night in 1999 plunged Jennifer Lopez, the renowned pop symbol, into the frightening profundities of a club shootout, perpetually modifying the direction of her relationship with Diddy. As the draperies fell on that night, mayhem usurped festivity, changing the occasion into a chilling scene world, deserving of a wrongdoing spine chiller. It was a groundbreaking social affair at Midtown's Club New York, throbbing with the pulses of DJ Goldfinger, where Lopez and comes encompassed in the hurricane of their sentiment, went to the hot cocoa night on December 28, the 1999 anyway. What started as an evening of re-rye before long unwound into an episode of disaster, the flashlight hiding the looming calamity was unintentionally lit, while brushes gripping a champagne bottle coincidentally disturbed a clubgoer drink, starting a fight with a man known as Scar. In the midst of the raising pressure, cash flew through the air like foolish confetti traded in a disagreement that spiraled wild as the club's environment wavered on the edge. The unimaginable ejected shots rang out, disorder came down, and mayhem immersed the club. Reports separate on the specific succession, yet in the midst of the unrest, a discharge, supposedly discharged from Calm's firearm, resounded through the club, bringing about 3 club supporters supporting wounds, one of whom experienced a gunfire twisted to the face middle. The unrest Lopez and Combs quickly ran away from the area in a 1999 Lincoln Guide anyway. Their departure was short-lived as they were captured in the wake of running a red light. The resulting disclosure of a taken 9mm handgun, disguised in the vehicle's trunk, prompted their capture, creating a shaded area over the excitement and fabulousness that had once wrapped the night toward the day's end. I think he was not running away from a wrongdoing area. I think he accepted that he was escaping for his life. For Lopez, the repulsions were a long way from being done, cuffed to a seat for a horrifying 14 hours. She persevered through a horrendous trial in police care. Observers related her switching back and forth between muddled wails and wild tears, a glaring difference to her standard spectacular veneer in the midst of the turmoil. The police's absence of compassion was obvious, with one official considering her appearance as Invisible Girl is in an unfeeling evaluation. The repercussions of that turbulent night reverberated through the records of their relationship, creating a foreboding shaded area over their association. However, both Lopez and Combs in the end had the charges against them dropped. The occurrence cast a permanent color on their romantic tale. Bits of hearsay twirled reposing that the strains brought about by the shootout essentially added to the possible end of their relationship. Charges against me 100% falls ideally due because of time. We'll begin to see that. Thank you kindly. And as the shameful stories of Diddy's turbulent past connections keep on spreading out, new sensations have surfaced portraying envy and possessiveness that adds an unstable layer to his dynamic with Jennifer Lopez. The disclosure